Welcome to another episode of Hope Is Not Enough. My name is Mansfield Key III, known to most as OP Key, and today, we have a very special, and when I say special, I mean special, two guests here that I know personally. I've been knowing them all of their lives. And I didn't know we were wearing red today. I never got the memo. Y'all didn't tell me we were wearing red. Oh, God. So we have Miss Erin Ruth Key. We have Joy Danae Key. And for those who don't know, these are our daughters, Erin and Joy. So welcome to the Hope Is Not Enough podcast. I'm so glad to see you. So you're always here. And you've probably been hearing this probably since you were old enough to really understand. Your mom would always say that your dad is what? What's that word that starts with E?
Extra.
Extra. And so you all really didn't know what that meant. You know, of course you were 5, 6 years old playing basketball and I was your coach, and after the first game, you know, you came to me and said, yo, Dad, what? I don't want you to be my coach anymore, because it was upward bound and I got too excited. Look, you need to go do it, you need to. And that was a young age, and I was extra, I guess, but I didn't know that that would affect you. When you all hear that your dad is extra, now, of course, your mom is not here to defend herself. She's going to get an opportunity. Not today, though. But what do you think she mean, and what do you mean when you say that your dad is extra? Because somebody think extra is bad, but when you hear extra, what do you think?
I mean, really, there's, bare minimum. Then there's average. That's what everybody else does.
Okay.
Then there's above average.
Okay.
Then there's extra.
Okay.
And that is you.
Okay. Hold on.
There's so many levels.
So many
levels. And you at the tip of the top.
I'm at the top. Okay. So when you say that levels, so that could be a good thing, depending on what you're looking at.
Sure.
So when you say extra, give me an example of me being extra, because somebody's watching we on a podcast now, we're doing a lot of cool things, but when you say extra, what do you mean? Give me an example.
There's so many examples. But it can be a good thing as well, because I feel like you being extra is just you being yourself. Which
Gotcha.
can sometimes mean doing the most or being extraordinary.
Doing the most, extraordinary. All these extreme adjectives describing, what I mean? What do that mean though? Give me an example of being extra,
Okay. Here's a small example. Let's say you're on the phone.
Yes.
Yeah, you can be on the car phone, you can be on speakerphone. Normal people have their conversational voice.
Yes.
You yell.
I don't. What do you mean yell?
Hey, this is Pete Key. That's you.
Okay, so.
But that's very small. But that is really who you are. You take it above and beyond. Which
Gotcha.
I mean, look where we are now.
Gotcha.
We're on a podcast.
Gotcha. Because we extra, right?
Most people, where do they do their podcast? At home.
Yeah, right.
On Instagram Live, whatever.
Gotcha.
We got all the features.
We got a production.
We have a venue.
Yes, right.
A monitor.
Live studio audience.
Exactly. Live studio audience. All of these things.
So you saying that's extra?
Yes. I mean, there's bare minimum.
So give me a moment. Have y'all ever been embarrassed by your dad? Like, can you think of a moment, where you're like, God, why did he say that? Or why did he do that, Without going too far. Without going too far, Because I think back, if you think about, I started with, being your coach, and you said, I don't want you to coach me anymore. And then I thought about when you did go back and say, okay, I'm going to play basketball again, Dad. But I don't want you to coach. I want you to come to the games, but I just want you to be my dad. Do you remember that moment?
I do.
So I couldn't say anything to you on the court. I couldn't because I would scream, Erin, get the ball. Erin, you need to. You know, you just couldn't handle that. And you started back playing basketball. And we had a moment. I don't know if you remember the moment when y'all had a game. And this is when you kind of left the game of basketball, if you remember that. When it was what, triple overtime? Mm-hmm. The triple overtime game. And the coach came in the locker room. Y'all won the game by 1 point. And everyone played on both sides of the benches, and you're the only one who didn't get in the game. And so you were hurt. I was hurt as a dad and watching this game, phenomenal game. Y'all win by 1 point. 2 or 3 people fouled out. They still didn't put you in. As a dad, I'm mad. You know, wanted to go say something to coach, but I didn't. And you came out of the locker room and you said, Coach said that was the best game ever. And when you said that, I was like, wow. And I had to go to Tuscaloosa to the University of Alabama and speak, but I stayed for the game. And I hugged you and you was like, I don't want to stay. And you had to stay at the facility because we were leaving, going out of town, and you know, your uncle and them were staying to all of the games. So you had to stay to all of the games after not playing. Everyone else played. I hug you, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, the next day we come back and you were still hurt. And I started telling you, LeBron James' coach and Steph Curry's coach would have put them in the game. And I told you to ask the coach, why didn't he put you in? And what did you say he said?
He said he forgot about me.
He said he forgot about you. And I remember saying, LeBron James' coach didn't forget about him. Such and such coach didn't forget about him. Maybe you're not good enough. You don't need to be playing. And I meant it to motivate you to do something else. And you did. Hey, I know you're locked in and I know you don't need the interruptions, but just do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button real quick so we can build up subscribers and keep bringing you content like this. Okay, the moment, I know I hurt you when I said what I said. And I meant to do that. Like I wanted to make you so mad that you would say, I don't want to play basketball, but I'm going to find the thing that I was born to do. Even I don't even know if you remember, and I asked you, what do you like doing? And you said writing. Do you remember that? And you said you wrote something about a rental car.
What?
You felt like a rental car and that people just use you. Yeah, you said all of that same day, but not playing basketball and having to pivot to do something else. What did that do for your life? What happened after that?
Well, after that, I had to finish out the season. But that whole 10th grade year, I just started trying stuff. I really did. I did broadcasting team. I started going to the gym a little bit, doing dance classes. I talked to Mr. Bruce, and I was in his broadcasting class.
Gosh.
And I was just in there. I wasn't good at it. I just was there. And he said somebody had pulled out of a speech competition. And he asked me if I wanted to do it. And I was like, I guess. And then the only reason I did it was because, I mean, you were right there when he asked me.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Like, you need to do it. And blah, blah, blah. Like, I totally forgot all of this happened. But it was a Skills USA speech competition. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. I don't have to win. I just get it done because Mr. Bruce is my dad's friend.
Gotcha.
I go in there and I win.
Gotcha.
And I was like, okay, fun. Do I get any money? No, just recognition. And that's fine. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to have a regional competition. And I was like, okay, sure. Surely I won't win regionals. I win regionals.
Okay.
Then we have a national competition. Wait, no. State. I win state. Then we have national.
Yes.
In Kentucky.
Yes.
I come in fourth at Kentucky. And you were like, well, you have the gift.
You gotta be a speaker. I was as a dad, let's go.
I know.
She about to do this. And she's like, I don't want to be a speaker.
I didn't, and I still don't. But I hadn't seen you have that kind of fire about something I was doing since I played basketball. And so I wanted to do it because of your reaction.
Gotcha.
And I felt like I had your approval again.
Wow.
So I kept doing it. And then I did the American Legion competition.
Then the money started coming. Come on.
Then the money started coming. I won about $2,500 that first year. And I was like, okay, well maybe I can keep going. And I did it the second year, and I, came up a little short at state, which is fine.
Still won some money though.
I still won some money, and that money went towards like a scholarship for me to go to Troy.
So you could say that not playing basketball led you into speaking. The speaking led you into going harder in the classroom, which allowed you to finish in the top 5 percentile of your class, which led to a scholarship at Troy on leadership, which led to some of the things that you're doing today.
Yep. The domino effect.
Domino. So to the person who may be listening, sometimes what hurts, the lesson that you learn that's the hardest, could be the thing that leads you to the thing that you were born to do. And instead of getting so mad and angry at the person, because you could have been mad at me, and I'm sure you were.
I was.
And as a dad, I could go back and say, maybe I could have said it differently. But the pain that you felt, you always remember that pain, but that pain led you to purpose. I'm not saying it did, but it led you to leave that. What if you were still out there trying to please me in basketball?
Yeah, well, that would be over now, because, definitely wasn't making it to the WNBA. But, yes, it was painful at the time. But, I was 14. Everything was a little painful. And I rarely think about that now. But talking about it today really did remind me of, how much came out of that situation. So, I am grateful to you for...
And you gotta be grateful to me.
Well, let me finish. I'm grateful because you told me the truth, but you didn't have to say it that way. So we'll work on it next time. But I am thankful for the truth.
Gotcha. So I gotta work on my approach.
Yes.
Hey, I know you're locked in, and I know you don't need the interruptions, but just do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button real quick, so we can build up subscribers and keep bringing you content like this. And it was like, somebody's watching, listening now, working really hard at the thing that they wasn't called to do. And so, because I played basketball, I wanted you to play basketball. I went to college on basketball scholarship, and I'm thinking, boy, my girl's gonna play basketball. And I didn't think that, I was like, well, is she thinking that I want her to play because I played and all of that? But when you went into color guard, and then you start saying, hey, I'm going to graduate in the top percentile of my class. You start setting goals, and then you end up getting a full scholarship, going to college. So what do you say to somebody who may feel like they're being rejected, but that may be God directing them through the rejection?
I feel like there's a point in time, I feel like we've all hit it, where you have to decide, am I going to go harder or am I going to do something else?
Gotcha.
I've hit that point on so many different things. It's like, okay, am I going to keep giving it my all, or do I need to just shift and do something else?
What do you do when you lose the passion, but you still have to show up to work every day because you need the paycheck? You have the degree, you have the skill set to do what you're gonna do, but sometimes we need that boost, right? What do you do when the thing that you used to love, now you don't even like it anymore, right? Sometimes we need a boost. Everyone say, I need a boost. Somebody say burnout. What do you do when your passion doesn't match your paycheck? Joy, so we will say this. We're in the house. The pandemic hit. When the pandemic hit, we were supposed to close on the house because we had worked out a deal, contract to deed. So everything we had put on the house, we get it back. And the month that we were supposed to close is June 20th of that year of the pandemic. March 13th, I lose every speaking engagement, every single engagement for the next year or two, every contract. And we're supposed to close on the house on the 20th, and we got denied by 4 banks and a credit union to purchase the house that we had already been working on getting. So now we're in between, we gotta move, we gotta do all of this, and you only applied to one single school. You said you're going to Alabama State. As a dad, I've lost everything. We're about to lose the house. If he said, hey man, if you don't close right here, you gotta go. UNA, Alabama A&M, all of these schools, you only applied to Alabama State, and we didn't have the money for you to go to college. And we're in the pandemic. And we at home every day looking at each other. You not knowing that we're about to lose the house, you not knowing any of this, and you only applied for one school. And they were gonna only give you $1,000 if you majored in dance. Tell us what happened after that.
I don't know what happened, to be honest. I really don't.
You don't even know what happened.
I don't know the details.
Later on you heard.
Right. I just know that I remember I found out I didn't really get the scholarship, and I just remember that night just being like, it's going to be okay. And I prayed. I was like, okay, God, whatever you want. I knew it was going to be okay.
Now it's crazy that she don't know that we always talk about is not always what you know, but who you know. And within a week, what happened?
I got a full scholarship.
Now, her mom was so mad at her for not applying to only no other school. In her mind, I'm going here and that's it. She have no clue that we stressing like we don't know what you're gonna do. School starts in August. It's June. We don't even know if we're gonna be living here. And she's just as calm. It's gonna be all right. And you've always been like that. You know, Erin says that she, work the least and get the most. But how has your faith, even from starting in school and then becoming a freshman, what was that like, crying every day, calling your mom? Once you got to the school that you were so excited about going to.
That was interesting because when COVID happened, we just didn't know what was going on. So being there, I was there every day. I had one in-person class that I went to like once every few weeks. And I was just really there in my room by myself. And honestly, I had to ride on my faith again, but I started writing. I don't know if you remember, I posted my first blog on Facebook,
yes.
the Joy Today blog. And I just kind of talked about my journey and everything that I was experiencing during that time with COVID. And it didn't really go anywhere, but I posted it, and that kind of started
what you're
Joy
doing
Today, which is my platform that is growing into something that I want to use to impact people. And I feel like it kind of goes back to what you're saying about there always being purpose in the painful moments, or the moments when you don't know what's going to happen, is when something is able to grow. And so coming from that experience, I learned a lot about myself. I was able to grow closer to God. I was able to start doing my platform, writing, doing things like that. So even though it was a moment where I didn't know what was next or what was really going on, God used that to allow me to discover these gifts and things about myself.
Gotcha.
And I feel like when you get there, you have to think about the signs. Like if you were really meant to do it, there would be some kind of sign in the midst of it, whether it's a sign from God, a sign from validation from other people, like something would tell you, hey, maybe this is the direction I should be going in. But if you can't think of 3 specific things that have told you like, oh, maybe I'm good at this, maybe this is, I'm headed towards something, then I think you should shift. I mean, there could be something else.
I think that's really hard because I felt like rejection would sometimes be confirmation that that wasn't what I was supposed to do. But sometimes it's just not the right timing.
Wow.
And I feel like that's kind of what I went through last year when I graduated college and I was still looking for a job, you know, getting rejected from jobs. And I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And so maybe even with me and my other journey of content creation, whatever, I may not get the likes, I may not get the response that I want to, but sometimes I would take that rejection and be like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. But maybe that's not a sign that that's not what you're supposed to do. Maybe it's just not the right timing yet. So
it may not be the right timing?
Yeah.
Okay, but you may be doing the right thing in the wrong season? Or
Sure. Because I feel like I've dealt with that a lot with rejection. Because rejection can be God directing you to where you want to be. But sometimes you take the criticism or like things not going the way you want it as a sign that that's not it. When really it's just not time yet. You got to keep going.
That's true.
So what's been the thing for you that you found peace in knowing that you're on the right path? Because a lot of young ladies your age are trying to find that thing. You know, I go to college, I get a degree, and then I can't find a job, or I'm trying to, do I go and get my master's? Do I get my PhD? What direction do I go in? Because a lot of times you can have all the tools, but just not know, or have the vehicle, but just don't know where you need to go.
Definitely faith in God. I mean, because sometimes everything around you doesn't make sense. But if you know that God told you that that's what you're supposed to do, you have to hold on to that. Because there's some times where I'm like, God, I don't know, like, if this is what I'm supposed to do. But then he reminds me that he has a plan for me that nobody else may be able to see yet.
Wow. So what was your greatest challenge growing up with parents who they call helicopter parents?
I don't really know if y'all are helicopter parents. Like, I feel like y'all, what do you think, Erin?
Erin made a look. What? No.
Well, helicopter parents means two different things. In y'all's case, helicopter meant I'm involved. They're there. I mean, I remember one time, I was on the basketball team and I made like a C on my progress report. And they're like, Erin, you better get it together because you know how your parents are. And you only supposed to run for D's and F's, but they knew how y'all were. And they were like, hey, your mom and dad, I don't have to get you, they will.
So the expectations brought pressure.
Yes.
Was it ever overwhelming to the point to where you felt like you couldn't live up to it, or you couldn't talk about it, or it led you to a point of depression or anything like that?
I mean, there's definitely been times where I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to live up to what y'all have for me. But I feel like that comes back to my faith. Because, maybe I may not be everything that y'all want me to be, even though I feel like I am more, what God wants me to be. But ultimately, it's like, okay, my validation is in Christ and what he wants for me. So y'all have y'all's expectations, but God has his expectations. If he's pleased with my life, then I'm good.
So if you could name a memorable moment when you were growing up in the Key household, what would that be? What would be the most memorable moment for you?
A specific moment or like just good?
Yeah, just and it could be specific or just moments,
I mean, I think probably the best moment, we were like upper childhood, 15, 16 is when we moved into the house, the new house. Because it was just, one, it was so cool, and the way y'all did it and surprised us was so great.
Gotcha.
But I think the thing that really got me is our whole life you kept saying we were going to move. Yeah. And at some point I was just like, oh, daddy just says that. He just says, it's fine. It's just whatever, figure of speech, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then we did it, and it was like, wow. Not only was I just so excited, I was just so proud of you and so proud of Mama, because it was like,
and see, you don't even remember when we were, the way the whole process went down. I had that little bitty closet that was like my office, and you remember I had a picture on there, and I was like, one day we're gonna, and I used to always, and I kept that picture up, not, I always saying one day, and Erin, you had a dresser, and I tried to fix it over and over and over again. And so finally I got some money and I was like, man, we're going to buy you a new dresser. And you were like, no, I don't need a new dresser. I'm fine. I'm like, no, girl, this dresser, I don't need a new dresser. I said, Erin, girl, this thing is falling apart. And so for the person who's watching and listening, the dresser was bad, but that's all she had ever seen. And so I get a call this particular day, if I can tell this story, from a gentleman who wants me to help him with his son. And I meet with him, we talking, I tell him what we need to do about his son, and we're getting ready to leave. And he says, anything you need. And it's a multi-millionaire guy. I was like, man, I don't know, but I got a question. And I said, hey, if man, my daughter, I'm trying to get her a new dresser and she thinks that the dresser she got is okay. And man, it's terrible. And me being their dad, I don't want some guy when they become, 16, 17 and start thinking that, I'm gonna give them something and then they latch on because he gave them something that as a dad I was supposed to give them. Am I doing a disservice to my kids by not being the one to provide them with the opportunity to see what's possible? And he said, yeah. He said, what is it you're trying to get? I said, man, we need a house, man. And at the time, y'all remember, we had some extra activity come through the house and your mama said, we going to stay with your mom. A rat came through the house and this is the old house. And I'm like, man, I'm just sitting in there like, and so all these things had taken place and he says, yeah, man. And I said, house. And he said, man, I got an old house that I used to live in. Long story short, man, we worked the deal. A week later, I got the keys to the house. Charlene and I go to the house. We're getting ready to go and get furniture. And instead of us going and saying, hey, we're moving to this new house, we tell them to take all of their clothes out of their drawers and everything and put it in bins because we're going to get new dresses. We never told them we were going into a new house. So she goes, she's getting a learner's permit or something that day. Erin is with a friend and we're in and out of the house trying to fix it up. We go to the furniture store to get the furniture and we end up getting the entire house. All of the furniture, all the bedrooms, everything. But when we go that Saturday to look, we just saying, what type of bedroom would you want if you were getting a new bedroom? What type of da-da-da-da-da? So we're in the furniture store all of the day that Saturday. And just share a little bit of that. What were y'all thinking when we were in the furniture store? Did y'all have any clue?
No,
We
but
just were excited to get new furniture.
we were. And you were like, get whatever you want, whatever kind you want. And I remember Joy got this like really beautiful gold set. Like it was just so nice. And I was thinking, okay, I want something nice, but I don't want it to be too expensive. But I want it to be in my room. Like even as I was dreaming, I still had like,
You're putting limits on it.
Limits on it.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you had a whole new house.
Right.
And it was just like, I think that's just kind of our personality a little bit too. Like Joy can dream and Joy can see it and
Sparkly
everything.
and everything.
And I'm more like, okay, what's realistic for right now?
Gotcha. And so you all select that, but we don't tell y'all we're getting it. We just kind of like, and so the furniture store is like, hey, every single thing that you all selected is available except one love couch. But everything else, the couch, the chair, the upstairs, every single bedroom in the house was available. And they said we can deliver it next Wednesday, which was the day you were doing and so we're cleaning the house. You all put all your stuff in bins and everybody knows Uncle AB. And I was like, hey, the evening I was like, hey, Uncle AB, he's showing people houses in this neighborhood and he's staging it. And man, he wants to come look at this house he got staged. And y'all like, what? And I was like, yeah. So we pick y'all up, we drive. We get to the house, so AB is, you see his car, so it's not abnormal to see his car in there. And we walk to the front door. And when we walked through the front door, I turned the key and opened it. And what happened there? So, for the past week, this is a 1 week process. We have been looking for bedroom suits. We've been looking for sheets and comforters because our kids think that we're changing their bedrooms, that they're getting new bedroom furniture. We had them to put all of their clothes in bins because we got the new furniture coming in the old room. But the kicker is, it's not going in the old room. It's actually going in our new home.
We're excited. Let's see what's going to happen.
Y'all bought this house? Oh my God! Are you serious? When we move in?
We're in.
Oh God! Y'all, I know y'all so excited. This y'all house?
This is home, girls. This is home.
He's like, welcome to your new house. And we were like, what? Like, are we practicing for the staging? it was so confusing. And we're like, no, we're moving here. And I'm like, no way. Like, what do you mean? And they're like, no, we live here now. And we were like, really? Joy started crying.
Yeah, Georgia started bawling.
Daddy, you started crying.
Yeah, I was crying. Yes.
And while they were crying, I just started running around the house, like just looking and everything. I'm all inside the dishwasher, the ice maker. I'm like, we got 2 sets of stairs. I'm running back and forth.
And it's funny, in that moment, I remember Joy had wanted to become a part of some social club. And I remember her saying that she really wanted to be a part of it, but you didn't want, because the tradition was they come to your house or something, and they go in your bedroom, and so you didn't want them to come to your house because of where we lived, and you were ashamed of that. And as a dad, having you all to see the fruit of the labor being manifest. Just the house. When we gone, it's, but you all saw a tangible demonstration of hard work and turning into something. And then now you all become young ladies saying, okay, now I got to carve out my own life. Life is bigger than that house now. And now you're getting ready to go to college and you're trying to figure out the thing that you were born to do. How did you determine that, and how you grew up affect what you are becoming while you're on your journey now?
I'm thankful for just everything. I'm thankful for the house that we grew up in and the house that we moved into, because it taught us a lot. It helped us to remain humble in who we are. And I feel like I can always hold on to that story or that part of our life as a testament of my faith and a testament of hard work pays off. And also just believing, if you say something, if you believe it, then it can come to pass, no matter what it is.
Wow.
So
Wow. What about you?
You said it was just a house. It's not just a house. It was seeing the dream we had for our family, which was, just so incredible. And I think
so with that, you took that and said, okay, I'm going to college, I'm going to do this. You saw work and hope, because we're talking about hope is not enough. And the show talks about from hoping to having. And some people are hoping, but because it's taking so long, you're over 15 years old. So for 15 years, I'm traveling, I'm working, and I'm speaking, saying one day, 15 year after year, we're getting WIC, we're going through Juicy Juice and peanut butter and milk and all of that stuff, but we still dreaming. Somebody's looking at us right now saying, I've been hoping, I can't find that thing. Other than hope, what do you think they need? If you had to look into the camera and give them hope, what would you say they need other than hope?
I would say, other than hope, I mean, hope is like a seed. I don't know if you've said this or I got this from somewhere else or if I made it up, I don't know. But hope really is like a seed. Like, a seed is cool, it can do a lot, it has a lot of potential. But unless you put it in the right location, it's not gonna matter. And you still have to do sunlight, you still gotta do water. And that's something you really did show us, like, okay, you had hope for our future, you had hope and plans for us and everything you wanted to do, which is great. But then we saw the hard work and everything that came with it. So like, if I had to, tell the audience something, I would say, put your hope in something that you believe in and that you know is what's for you, and then work hard for it.
Gotcha. What would you say?
Pretty much the same, but I've been saying the whole time is have faith. And just have faith in Christ, have faith in yourself that no matter what, you can make it. And you have to believe in yourself because things may happen that may discourage you, whether that's rejection, whether people are criticizing you, saying it doesn't make sense. That's when you have to have faith and know that I believe that this can happen and it will happen. And that faith will drive you to do what you know that you can do, and eventually it'll manifest. So don't be discouraged by what may be happening now or what somebody else has said, but have faith and believe that what you want to do and what God placed in your heart will come to pass.
Last question, I know we're over time. When you think about your mom dealing with me all this years, because we talk about this a lot, as a family. We eat, we watch movies, we do all of that, and we talk about being extra and your mom grooming you all and telling you all. But what would you say, not to her, but about her, if somebody didn't know her? Because, we're working on this book and process and all of this. She don't know it yet. Y'all, I'm extra. It's entitled Married to a Visionary. Meaning, what do you do when you're married to someone who have ideas? This is an idea. When I told y'all when I turned 50 years old, I said I was about to be a rapper, y'all was like, come on, Dad. But what did I do?
You did.
I went in the studio. So when you think about your mom, if you could say one or two things about her, how would you describe her in this equation before we close?
Okay, well, I can't just do one with 2 words.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
For Mama, growing up, she just was always so supportive. She was always the backbone of everything. And then now that I'm older, I'm trying to get to know her as a person, not just my mom. And
Gotcha.
Her as a person is just so great. And I really, sometimes I feel like she might get lost in everything that we do. And being your wife, being our mom. And I just want her to know that as a person, we see her.
Gotcha.
Yeah, same. I mean, everybody knows my mom as being your wife or being whoever, because there will be no Pete Key without Charlene Key. So she definitely has done so much about that, but she also is very intentional. She cares a lot. She's very wise. And I feel like she has so much just to offer to our family and to this world. And I feel we both getting emotional. I don't know why. But it's because we love her so much. And she really is just such a special person. And I feel like the world hasn't even seen everything that she is. And, I'm excited to see what's next because it's not over. it's the beginning of some new things. And I really feel like she has so much to give to this world, and I'm excited about that.
Wow. So you heard it first from the Key girls. I mean, I remember she said something to me years ago. She said, you don't know who I am with the bills paid, money in the bank, and kids gone. And now we're experiencing it. So now we get a chance to see. Man, we say hope is not enough, but you still gotta have it. Man, thank you for joining us. We may have to come back with part 2 because this is just the tip of the iceberg for what we're talking about. But somebody needs to know that it's possible. Just keep believing, keep having faith. And just like she said, the seed is in the ground. It may take a while to grow, but keep getting the sunlight, keep getting the water. And at some point, that root will turn into fruit. My name is Pete Key, and we out.